Alright folks, the warm-up loop is over. Now it's on to the main event. Hey, welcome to Hardcore Enduro, where it's all about getting out, riding the hard stuff. I'm George, the guy behind the bars and the voice behind the mic. And we're continuing on our race here from the Moose Run put on by the Four Aces and the Los Angeles Motorcycle Clubs. And Loop 2's we finally get into some of the hard stuff. And Loop 2 was a little bit of a mess as far as checkpoints. A lot of people got lost, and they ended up disqualifying a lot of riders for missing a checkpoint 6, which I made all the checkpoints, so I ended up placing 74th overall instead of my previous 92 that I said in the last video. So I got second in my class and 74th overall. Watch this guy coming in, power sliding right in front of me. Almost got kicked out. So he power slid right in front of me, causing a lot of dust, and then I couldn't see, and I hit a rock and almost tipped over. That was a good ballsy pass by that guy. Thumbs up to that. I like that when people get after it. You know, I talked earlier about being timid about passing, which I am, but it's fun to see people racing, getting after it. You know, it is a race, and I don't mind. I don't need someone to pull out, you know. If they're going to make it tough for me and I'm going to be riding behind them for 30 miles like I did, you know, so be it. I got to up my game, which is all right. That's what I'm here to do, get better each time I ride, and it just actually is making the race a lot more fun. The more competitive it is, the more I enjoy it. So here we go. And as a bonus, I've been wanting to do this for a long time. When I do these voiceovers, I usually have one, but now I've never talked about it, and I don't know if I can or get in trouble. But I got a nice adult beverage with me today on this video here. It's a Horse Soldier, very strong, 122 proof. It's a nice bourbon made in Ohio, and it's dedicated. Ooh, coming in sharp to that rock there. It's dedicated to the first soldiers that we had in Afghanistan that had to ride horses to get around the mountains in there, so they call this Horse Soldier, and it is a beast. I mean, it'll take the hairs and burn them right off your chest. That's what it's gonna do, but I'm gonna enjoy it while we watch the video here.
I'm the worst breaker.
I am the worst breaker. my braking skills. Yeah. What am I doing? I'm in too high a gear. As soon as it try to bump start it, and it's just in too high a gear.
What's going on? I'm in too high a gear.
Yeah, you are, you idiot. So, talking about you saw that guy power sliding that rear brake. I'm not as good as far as being able to
pull yourself together.
Yeah, pull yourself together. Feather that rear brake, you know, and do those kind of back end slides into turns. I need to get better at that. You know, it's just because I don't know why I can't really make an excuse for it. You need that. That's a valuable skill in all riding. You know, hard enduro with the slow stuff, and even these open scrambles in the desert. You know, being able to tap that rear brake is very valuable, and I need to get better at it. You saw I stalled back there. It wasn't good. Here's some hard sections. See, guys get past, and I like the hard stuff. So as the harder it gets, the more it bottles up, and the better I do. So we got Sean right there in front of me. He's the guy that did that sweet power slide pass, almost causing me to crash. And he's gonna do a little spill later on, and the crashes right in front of me. I come over the hill, I see him down, so I'm gonna slam on my brakes, which causes me to tip over, dump the bike. So he didn't get me the first time, but he got me the second time. But I hope he was all right. I think he might have hurt his wrist a little bit. You know, every fall you're very anything can happen during the crash. So I don't like to see people getting hurt. There was a couple of guys, like I said, that guy Kevin, beginning of the bomb run, he broke his collarbone, and there was a couple other down riders today that looked like they're in a world of pain. So you don't wish that upon anybody. So I got this guy in front of me here, just riding his pace, gonna be patient, picking my time to pass. which on some of the harder terrain, it's much easier to pass. To me, I like being able to pass during the slow sections, or not. I don't know. The stress of flying by someone at 50 miles an hour is stressful. You know, you could pass them. Might get a nice open left lane here. So I make that pass. Yeah, get some roost going. You know, whenever you pass someone, you got to get that roost right in their face. Throw some rocks up in there. Let them know they got passed. That always happens. You know, you get passed and then they're all on the gas, and next thing my GoPro lens is getting full of rocks. But, you know, on the harder sections, like there's a nice hill climb up here. I love hill climbs, and I really go for hill climbs. And, you know, I'm kind of no mercy passer in a hill climb. If you're stuck in the middle of the hill, I'm going for it. But I like passing the slower sections. It's a little easier to get around, and it's just not so stressful if you got to take a hard line. If you dump the bike going slower, you know, it's not as bad. But here we go, nice rocky hill climb, kind of bouncing around, catching this guy. I'm getting after it. I'm going the outside. There's a guy stalled his bike up ahead, and I'm almost going to clip him. I get so damn close right here. Watch. Oh, that was close. But I turned the wheel last second and avoided a collision with him. You know, it's a risk you take on hill climbs. If you don't make it, if you stall halfway or not, you know, if you don't make the hill, we'll get back on the trail there, Georgie. Get your balance. Getting all excited about these hill climbs. You're going all over the place. But back, you know, it's a gamble. You miss that cleaning that hill and you get stuck. Well, people are coming and they got to be on the gas. You know, you can't lose your momentum during the hill climb, so you got to be on the throttle, and you do your best to avoid hitting. And back at Silver Kings had a couple massive hill climbs during the prologue. I'm telling you, you guys have never seen something like it. It is just every man for himself. There was guys slamming into bikes, running over bikes. It was chaos just trying to get up some of those hills in Silver Kings. And I think you know that going in. So, you know, you just deal with it. Right here, the guy gets kicked out. I'm like, all right, got to get after it. So I hit a little throttle on the downhill. And then coming in a little hot for this turn, I could have probably leaned in. I probably could have made that turn, but it was a gamble. I was like, oh man, I don't want to roll here. So just shot wide. So my passing opportunity, I got it and then lost it all within 2 seconds there. Back into the sandy washes here. This kind of northeast side of Spangler is really rocky. That's where we're at right now. Really rocky hills. And these sandy washes, man, you're going to see some of these just giant whoops here. They're just crushing you. I'm pulling back. I do pretty good through it, but, man, they still get you. And these are big. Got another little hard section. Yeah, the monster. Look at those big suckers. Got another little bottleneck coming up, little rocky section, and here's where the hard enduro training is coming out, folks. I'm gonna get around these guys. I'm like, all right, I ain't waiting again like I did in loop 1. I'm going right around these guys, getting through, getting the hard pass. Feeling good. I like riding this style right here. I'm comfortable with it. I do go up and left, and then I get kicked out by a rock right here. Almost lose balance, catch it left. I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna have to go this way now. A little bit of a ledge right there. Pop the wheel up, weight that rear tire, and just keep that momentum going. Get right up and over. Well done. Feels good. Yeah, my belly feels good right now. That whiskey's starting to kick in. It's warming me up right here. Tell you, Friday. It's cold today though. It rained today and blew wind. I was cold all day at work. This little glass right here is doing the job. Got another big hill climb coming up here. Not as bad, but still, you got to be on the gas. And there wasn't any traffic right here, so not a big deal. But it did have this dip right at the beginning. You're coming in, you're thinking you just pour on the gas, and they had that dip, boom, right there. Just kind of threw you off, so I had to let off, but then got right back on her. And Trixie, she does her thing and just eats right up. I'm running the IRC VE33S rear tire today with a bib from New Tech. It's their plushie, and just a great setup. I had great traction all day today. Now coming up here is where Sean's gonna dump the bike, and there's a little ridge you gotta go over, and I go over, and as soon as I see him, there's a down right in front of me. I'm like, oh crap, I'm hitting the brakes, and I don't want to run over him. So it's right here with the down arrows instead of the blue ones. Right here, I see him down, I hit the brakes and just do kind of a soft spill. That's not a hard crash, folks. Still counts though, because you gotta deadlift the freaking bike up. So anytime you go down, you gotta pick the bike up, and it gets you. But that was actually my only fall of the whole race today. It was that fall, so pretty good. You know, usually I average 2 to 3 falls a race. Well, as Hare and Hounds go, hard enduro, you're probably like 100 falls a race. Nice rocky technical single track through here. I like this kind of stuff too, bobbing and weaving. Everyone doing the little dog leg. There's Sean there. Asked if he's okay. You know, going down, it looked like he went down kind of hard there, so never know. Dan was telling me that Kevin, when he broke his collarbone, he didn't even realize it. He just thought he strained his shoulder or something like that. Not too bad, but you never know how bad you fall, and the shock, you know, doesn't set in yet, and your adrenaline pumping. You can have a more severe injury than you initially thought, you know. So, you know, you want to make sure you're all right. So we got Jackson there in front of me, and I passed him during that hard rocky creek section. About a half mile back, but he's gonna get up here and he's gonna get off the line a little bit, loses his balance off to the left, goes downhill a little bit, and then I'm gonna get him on the high side of the trail. So here it is. So he's gonna lose his balance right there. You can see he's leaning, taking the dog leg out. Boom, get right around him. This is a really rocky section. There's a guy off to the right there. He's going the downhill the wrong direction. Poor guy. Got probably kicked off the line or dropped his bike off the line. That was a really steep, rocky spot to fall. That tough for him. That was a tough break. Now, coming up here, we got a good downhill. Now, on the I guess it was the Checkers Hare and Hound back in January. We did the same little portion or section of riding here, so I remember this. And this is actually where I dumped my bike. I had one of my falls during that race. But there's a little bit of a bottleneck coming up. And this is Gunner right in front of me. He watches the channel, so thanks a lot, Gunner. It's pretty cool. Took the time out of the race. I mean, he's ahead of me. He still took the time out of the race
okay back there? Yeah. I saw you tumble over.
Yeah, I just fucking dumped it.
Yeah, it's a little risky. It was scary dumping through the rocks. But yeah, Gunner taking the time out of his race to give me a shout out. Right here, right where that rock is, that's where I dumped my bike, and I went over the handlebars here back in January.
All right on, buddy.
Hey, thanks, Gunner. Appreciate that. That's so awesome, you guys giving me shouts out and saying you like the videos and watch me. That's awesome.
You go through.
All right, got a down rider there. He's kind of walking his bike down, tipped over. I make the outside hard pass. Nice, letting the bike roll. Get through that. And then I got Timothy up there. I passed him during loop 1. Now he's making me pass him again in loop 2. He must have had a really good pit stop, but he's almost going to go over the bars. Right, watch that back tire. It's going to lift up off the ground. He saves it, doesn't go over, but right there.
Whoa. Almost went over. That was a close one.
Yeah, it's a good save. All right, he goes left. I'm going to go right. Just kind of let the bike roll. Pulling in the clutch and just letting her go. Just like riding a mountain bike down. I'm getting better in my downhills. I used to be very slow. And I guess I probably still am. There's Eric. Passed him on loop 1. I'm getting another pass for loop 2. He's got double pass. It's a good race. I like the back and forth of racing people, where people pass you and then you got to pass them back. That's what racing's all about. So I think that t-shirt after all is going to be, if you ain't passing, you ain't racing. I think I decided that's what it's going to be. Get back into some open valley stuff. Got some whoops coming up here. get it out of the creek, but we're gonna get back into that creek. And oh my God, they had some of the biggest whoops ever. They were like the double D of whoops here. They might have been an E, F, G rated whoop. They were just massive. I mean, me and Trixie, we're gonna be motorboating through these whoops. They were so deep, you could just your way through these whoops. You know whoops are big when you gotta motorboat your way through them. Look at these suckers, just bam, 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 bam. Boom, 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 boom. Right? Look at these suckers. Just rolling waves. You could surf off of them. Still going. Man.
Those are some big whoops.
Hell yeah, they were. Big old whoops. I did have my compression set up. I guess I rode out here last weekend, so I thought I had it set up pretty good. But, you know, race pace is always a little faster and then harder because you're not having the rest breaks. You know, when you start fresh leg. Oh, stalling your bike, Georgia. Come on. Don't do that. Don't be an amateur here. You're trying to be a pro rider. You can't stall your bike out. So, fresh legs, I can get through the whoops way better, but now that I'm exhausted, those whoops, I can, you know, you're feeling them a lot more because your legs are exhausted. So I could run a little bit stiffer next time, even though I think during the second half, that extra stiffness will help me out. Whereas in the beginning, I felt fine. Like I commented the last video that Trixie, she felt great. And, but, you know, you really start feeling it on that second half of the race here. I got another rider in front of me, so I need to get up on them, make a pass. Got to get through this choppy valley section here, get up to the rocks. But they're giving me a good chase here. Haven't caught them yet. They're right there. They're within grasp, but I got to catch them. This side of Spangler, just a lot of this football chop. This really rocky trails through here, and so it's really hard to get off the line to find a clean line to pass anyone.
On the line, George. What are you doing?
Yeah, stay on the line. You got to stay on the line here. You get off the line, you're gonna be in a world of hurt. But I get lucky right here, and he's gonna pull over and get around him. So that's Ryan. Another guy passed, but he passed me loop one, and then he must have had just a killer pit stop. But I get him back. There we go. Nice rocky chop through here. Just gotta stay with the momentum. You can't lose your momentum, and you need to go with a little bit of speed. That extra speed, that centrifugal force of your tires rotating around, and your body mass, the mass of the bike, keep that momentum. It'll keep the bike upright. I got a guy stopped ahead of me. I stopped. I was like, all right, let's just see what happens. If he was going to be stuck for a while, I would have made the pass, but he got going again, and then I go after him. If he dumps his bike right in front of me, left or right, and I choose poorly, then it's going to make me dump my bike. So just being a little bit patient sometimes on picking a good line. Now, notice here the RPM range of his bike versus my bike. You hear that? Like, he's revving out, and Trixie, she's just purring like a little kitty cat here. So that is the difference of controlling wheel spin. And when you rev out, and I mean, I don't know if his finger's on the clutch or not, but if he's not, if he's just revving out, that back tire will have a lot of wheel spin. And on this technical stuff, you don't want wheel spin. You want that rear tire gliding over the rocks, so it's not drifting out on you or kicking you out. But just a little thing to work on. I'm always trying to work on control of the rear tire. It's just not control of the balance, but controlling the power to the rear tire, especially in the harder terrain, and keep that wheel spin down. You're not just roosting. But need to get around this guy. I think he's gonna pull over and let me get around him up after this hill climb here, which is nice. Didn't have to do that. Don't have to do that, folks. For me, if you see me coming, you just stay in the middle of the trail, and you force me to get around you. I'm totally cool with that. Not a problem. It makes me become a better rider. So he pulls over, waved me through. I'm like, all right, I gotta get through here now. Make it, go for it, dang it. Yep, there it is. Yeah, it sucks when you wave a guy through and then he takes forever to get past. You're like, hurry up, man. I'm waiting for you to get around me so I can get back in it. All right, picking them off one by one. Got another guy ahead of me here. I'm telling you, this is a good idea. I should be doing this more often. This whiskey and reviews. I don't know. I could come up with a new name for the channel. But it's feeling good. All right, folks, we got a long ways to go now. See those far hills in the distance at the horizon over there. We got to cross this whole dang valley here, and this is where Spangler's kind of two separate kind of mountain range areas, and this took a long time. Really bumpy. I cut a lot of it out. We do hop on a kind of Audubon wash where you just really just flying. Oh, I'm getting past on the outside. That guy took a good inside corner on me. But we get into this kind of Audubon area where you just, as fast as your bike can go and as fast as you're comfortable of having your butthole puckered, holding on to the handlebars. I don't have a steering stabilizer, so my handlebar, I get the speed wobbles every time I start going super fast. What are you saying here, Georgie? Telling me something. Talk to me. Oh yeah, you started cramping. So as my thighs are cramping, right in the bottom, right above the kneecap or the teardrop of your thigh, right there, they were starting to bite. And I didn't, this race I had good conditioning, didn't cramp too much, and but you still get it, and you got to work through them. Those cramps kind of last a long time, and you're trying to like shake your arm out, shake your leg out, but you're racing. You can't really just pull over and stretch that cramp out. You just gotta, you gotta work through it. Now right up here, Ryder had a really bad crash. Yeah, the Pinnacles, you idiot. But right up here, really bad crash, Ryder down, and I think this guy was pretty hurt. So he's on the ground.
They did already? All right.
So, don't know how he turned out, but yeah, racing's dangerous, folks. Don't kid yourself about it. I wear as much protection as I can. Look at this Audubon right here. Oh, I hit that bush. Talking about protection, yeah. I used to have this shoulder protection. I don't wear it anymore. But I needed it right there because I just smacked that bush. Just about ripped my arm on the right hand side there, but crossed a lot of ground right there. That was a whole lot of open desert, just going like flat out as fast as the bike can go. For me, I was speed wobbling the whole time. Look at the halo of that sun up there. It was a beautiful day to race. Really good day to race out here. Yeah, sharp turn. So we're getting into the hillside, the south side of Spangler, very hilly, up and down like a roller coaster, up and down, left and right. And just having previous Hare and Hound experience, I know the course designers, I call it they're playing mind games with the racers here. You got to watch out. They have sharp turns, lefts or rights, right over a hilltop, and they're trying to throw off the racers. At least that's what I'm thinking. They're just trying to throw us off, and you get lost. So a lot of people coming up got lost, missed ribbon lines. You got off the line. I myself, I got behind this guy at one point, and I got off the line. And honestly, almost every Hare and Hound at one point, I get off the line, I lose it, and I have to like look around, backtrack. But it's hard through this hill section here, because you can't see the riders. In the open section, you get off the line, you can look out and you see the dust from the other riders. You can say, okay, the line's over there, But you get in these hills, and you know, there's a hill blight. You can't see the dust anywhere. You can't hear them, and it's kind of hard to find the line. You got to backtrack, and what do you do? Just you don't have to be. You don't want to do a head-on, but you backtrack kind of the way until you'll see a line or see a rider go through. Got a little traffic in front of me. I should get up on him. Another instance where I'm not making the pass. I'm kind of holding back, hesitating. I don't do it, but I got a guy. He doesn't hesitate. He just gets right around me. Look at that. See, that's how it's done, folks. Look at it. He just passes that guy. He's on his own pace. It's awesome to see. I love to see that. I would need to get to that level. I want to get to that level. I know I can. It just you know, it just takes practice. Okay, he pulled over, kind of let me through. Nice, thanks, buddy. Now I get up the line a little bit, following this guy through the brush. Line went to the left. Now, through here, like the experience I was saying, you gotta find the line. It's so easy to lose the line, and you get off on another canyon, and that trail goes right, and you should have went left. You know, so you gotta keep your head on swivel, looking for that pink ribbon. And stay close to it. You know, there's leeway on the race. Now, of course, the line is just a guide. You have a certain amount of feet. I forget it's like 25 feet each side, or maybe it's 50 feet each side you're allowed to ride. But man, if you lose it, and it's real easy to just go down another canyon or another line, and then you end up being way off. All these boots, my legs are letting me know how many times I skip leg day, and they're like, yep. You skip leg day, you're gonna pay the price. All right, keep my head on swivel. I see a downhill here. Some of these downhills pretty steep, but not too hard. You just let the bike roll. A little split there. Just gonna take the middle right through. Keep the balance. Let the bike go. Got a hill climb coming up. Could go straight. I could have went straight. Maybe cut off a little time, but I ended up going left here, just on the gas. Now, the last Hare and Hound, I still had that really chewed up, that wore out gummy tire that was at Michelin Extreme with all the knobs almost all the way off. So having this fresh tire, big old knobs, no problem hill climbing. Looked like that guy was having a little chain trouble, which I had last month at Checkers. I had the chain pop off like 4 times, and my race was over after that. You know, I just babied it home. Right here, the trail just goes downhill, and you see that rider backtracking, and a lot of people went straight and they turned around and had to backtrack. I was watching a video from Fernando Fanatics, and he got off. He probably spent 5 minutes lost with a whole bunch of other riders trying to figure out where the hell the line. He finally came back and went down here, but yeah, that was a problem. You know, when they mark the courses, you know, it's a lot of work marking the course, and they put the ribbon though right like on the closest edge to the trail, and a lot of people, you fly by, you start knocking those ribbons off, you hit them, and maybe they should put the ribbon a little bit more in the middle of the bush or something like that, so you're not knocking those ribbons off. They last longer, you know, because you knock a couple of ribbons off, and it just makes it so easy to get lost. All right, got around that guy back here. A little bit of a side hill. That guy got off a little bit. Was able to sneak around him on the inside there. You don't want to lose your balance here in these little skinny trails, these little side hill trails, because you go down and then you can get world of hurt. You know, you get off the line. There you go. See that right there? I was getting off the line already. It happens that quick. I went up the right side, and you can, you know, that trail starts going a different direction, and then you're like, I haven't seen a pink line in a while, so I'm really scanning ahead trying to see that pink. And it's, like I said, Spangler is a heavily trafficked, heavily off-roaded area, so there's a lot of fresh tracks just from riders out here enjoying themselves, you know, not race riders, just out riding for the weekend. So there's fresh tracks all over the place, and so you got to be looking ahead to get that line. Oh, you're feeling those whoops, aren't you? Hell, you're an old man now. You just don't recover like you used to. you got a family now, it's hard to get into the gym, it's hard to get the training done, it's hard to get time on the bike. You know, time on the bike is so critical to being able to ride. You know, I feel like even the hard enduro I did, King of the Motos, even Silver Kings and Donner, I feel like my skills actually not bad. I am a decent rider in hard terrain, but getting that conditioning up, oh my God, I'm just so many times my conditioning is just holding me back. I think every rider can say that. Every guy in their mid 40s is gonna say the same thing I just said right there. It's hard, folks. But it's just so damn fun. I love it. God, this is a nice downhill here. Gonna let the bike roll pretty quick, pretty fast coming downhill. Staying balanced, not locking up the rear. You know, a lot of new riders, they have a tendency to lock up that rear tire, and that rear tire then starts in-swapping on you. So you gotta let that rear tire roll sometimes, and you actually, you know, have a lot more control of the bike. Now the rider up ahead of me, I think he's the one I get behind him a little bit, and then instead of following the line like I've been preaching about, I'm gonna follow the rider, and he's gonna take Trixie here along for a ride with them off the course. And you don't realize that, you know, and he gets ahead, and I started looking around right here. I was like, see a pink ribbon, see the up arrow to the left. All right, we're good. We're on the line. All right, I need to focus on getting around him, right? I need to focus on the pass. Oh, he almost lost right there. Look at that nice slide out there. But I'm like, all right, I need to focus on the pass. And then I don't focus on the line. There's a left arrow there, right? Ribbon. All right, we're good. Okay, get this pass in. I mean, I'm trying to walk you through how I get lost. And watch what I do. I'm going to look down to the right, and I missed the arrow. Look down to the right. Arrow to the left, I missed it. He missed it. So because I looked to the right back there, I missed the arrow, and he missed it. So I'm still following him. Now I look around. I'm like, I haven't seen a pink ribbon. All right, I don't see any pink ribbon up ahead. I start slowing down because sometimes pink ribbons get knocked off the bush. So you're like, all right, it maybe got knocked off, but I'm like, I haven't seen one. And then I'm slowing down. He starts slowing it, so he stops up there. And then we're all looking around. I'm like, oh my God, we're lost. I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, where the hell is the line? So everyone's looking around. So like I said, this happens. You gotta backtrack, come to the line. Had to have stayed in the hills. My head, I'm like, I had to stay in the hills here. So I'm gonna head back down this little ridge line here. And then I see a pink ribbon. I'm like, all right. I see pink rim. There we go. Back on the course. But you can see, folks, how easy it is. I looked down. For whatever reason, I looked down. I missed the arrow. The guy ahead of me, I don't know what he did, but he missed it too. And I'm following him. You know, he's running the show when I just following him. So that's how you get lost on a Hare and Hound. That quick. It just it happens to almost everybody. You know, even the good riders still do it. I think there was even a pro rider too that got a DNF because they missed the checkpoint too. So, you know, it happens to the best of them. So don't feel bad if this happened to you or if it happens to you in the future. It's part of racing. It's what makes racing so exciting, so fun. Because anything can happen. You know, you can gain spots, gain positions, you can lose positions just like that. And that's just part of the race. That's why I love it. It makes it a lot of fun. Alright, so now I'm in the lead. People are following me. I gotta stay on the line. Yeah, you don't want to pick that sideline there. Come on left. Stay on the main line here. A lot of pressure's on me now. People are following me, so I can't get off the course. And I gotta try to pull a gap. Do these big old whoops right here. Look at this. Bam, bam, bam. Yeah. Little down arrows. Remember I talked about that in the last video. They had the down arrows here, and they didn't have the blue cautions anymore, so the arrow pointing down means caution. Well, you totally forget about that. You know, during the race, I remember when I dumped the bike, it had the double down arrows on each side, so it just wasn't registering yet that the down arrows was caution, and I'm sure that's why Sean went over that difficult spot early on in the loop too, where he crashed, and then it caused me to crash too, because I also saw the double down arrows, and it just didn't register that was caution. You know, they start that way. I don't know. You're telling me they ran out of blue caution? You know, get some more blue, get some construction paper or something like that. You know. Anyways, all right, we got a checkpoint coming up here, and I'm trying to pull a gap. There is a guy probably about 10 seconds behind me at this point, but I was pulling a pretty good gap, keeping him off my butt. Nice, quick check. You'll see him just off to the right there. He's maybe less than 10 seconds behind me, so I gotta keep on the throttle here. Can't let that guy come get the pass. I think he does get me later on, but I'm gonna go for it. We get out of these hills here. We gotta go through some more hills, up and downs, and when we cross the valley, I lose a little steam. I get off the throttle, I lose some ground. It's tiring, folks. It's a long race. But I'm going to do pretty good through this hill section. We got a couple more up and down, big hill climbs coming up. And pressure's on me, like I said earlier, just to keep on the line. Because I don't have anyone following, which is good and bad. You know, good that I'm not following the guy ahead of me. I get to ride my own pace right now. You know, I get to follow the ribbon line instead of following the guy ahead of me. But when you do have a guy ahead of me, and you can see when he slows down and he turns, it's a little bit of advantage because you can plan ahead. You know, you see him turn, and like right here, take the outside, a little slow right here. Just lose, not the fastest line, the inside line would have been a little bit faster like that. And that's where you can plan ahead. If you had a rider ahead of you, you can kind of plan a different line or faster inside line than that guy. But doing pretty good. You don't want to get lost. There's a couple times you'll see I'm going to look out, look left, look right, and just make sure that I don't get myself lost. Because you got all these hills, ups and downs. It's real easy to get lost. And once you're lost, you can't see because the hill's in the way of where to get back to. Now, Spangler does have some massive hill climbs, and they didn't throw any in. I was hoping they would throw in just a little bit of a harder hill than they had here. I guess there is one coming up that was kind of steep, kind of big, but nothing outrageous, you know. But this isn't hard enduro, so you can't really throw in something too hard. But I like the hard stuff, folks, and you know, I'm like, bring it, throw something bad. Oh, big old drop off there. my knees are screaming at me right now. Here's a good little climb right here, but nothing hard, you know. Just keep on the throttle. And I got that new tire with the big knobs, and she's grabbing, she's biting. Trixie, she's just, yeah, she's just firing away there. Feeling good. I know my knee, I'm not saying I'm exaggerating a little bit. My knees are feeling it. See, I gotta make sure I'm on the line right there. Make sure, just come up, look around. Gotta look down the line, make sure there's a pink ribbon down the course a little bit. But my thighs, my cramps have gone away, my thighs, so my thighs are doing good again. Of course, my arms, my hands are doing good. And it was just kind of a little ache in my knee, a little bit. Got another little hill climb coming up here, and it has a little drop. You think you're gonna get on the throttle, and then it drops off right there. Then you had to slow down. I mean, not a big hill, but can't go into these climbs blind. Here, that guy, I don't know, he pulled off left. Maybe he lost his balance, or maybe he was just pulling over to take a rest. I don't know. But got around him. Getting after it, folks. I did some really hard riding through here. Really fast riding through these hills. And there's these hills, a lot of ups and downs. Like I'm like looking around, like where's the ribbon line? Does it go up the hill? Does it go left? And there's so many, you know, choices here. You got to make the right choice, and you got to look ahead and see where that ribbon line is going. But riding good, no mistakes. That was one big factor through here. Really didn't have any mistakes. I was just really getting after it. Oh, almost went off right there. Almost went a little wide, but I was able to save it and bring it back in. You can see there's arrows left, right, diagonal, down. It gets a little confusing, you know. And I'm not saying the down arrows is not the best choice. Is that they got arrows at an angle, whatever, and you're like, all right, did it fall? Did it just like slip a little bit, and it used to be down or it used to be left, now it's just hanging down? I think I'm the club. I love the clubs, put on a lot of work and they do a lot of things, but you know they got to make sure that they have enough caution. If they're gonna run out of caution, they need to send a runner, you know, over to get some more blue, or you know they got to finish it out. Really going fast in those downhills, just letting that bike roll. Got miles 65 in the books. I think this was, I didn't hear what loop 2, I think it was another 40-mile loop for loop 2. So what do we got? That's 5. We got 15 more miles to go. It's quite far, you know. Every mile on the loop 2, you start to feel it, and it just drags out. You're like, oh my God, just hurry up. I'm up on this ridge line here, and look, there's a right-hand turn coming up. There's no arrow right here. And I don't know how I saw that, but I looked down, I saw a pink ribbon down the little canyon there, and that's the only reason I found that. Otherwise, I would have blown right past that and been lost again. I'm gonna blast through this bush right there, a little weed whacking, never hurt. Got a nice little hill climb coming up. Get on the throttle, yeah. Yeah, Trixie, she likes to sing. It's a good little steady hill climb coming up here. Getting bounced around a little bit. Come on, Georgia, get under control. There you go. Just lay it on thick. Keeping that gap open from that guy behind me. Still about 10 seconds. Every time I make a hard turn, whatever, I'll look and I can see I haven't lost him, but he hasn't gained on me, so he's staying about the same spot. And I'm hoping to lose him. You know, you want to pull that gap so he doesn't have the advantage of following you during the race. You know, and he has to then navigate his own race. Could have went left right there. Might have shaved off a second. Like, these little things matter, folks. When you're racing, you know, the more straight, or the straighter the course you can run, it saves time. And you know, all these seconds and all these little shortcuts, they start adding up. Now coming up here is an arrow that points right, but the course just goes straight. So I think instead of having it go right, they could have just had one to go up or something like that. I don't know. Sometimes the arrow placement is a little confusing. All right, catching a rider up ahead of me. He's got a hill climb. I'm like, all right, reel him in, Georgie. Let's go. All right, he lost his balance back there a little bit. Worked out good for me. Get down and just let it roll, folks. You get downhill, just let it roll. Don't lock up that rear and have it slide. Just let it go. All right, he waves me through. Thank you much. I'll take it. Nice, easy pass through the sandy wash here. Get off the wash, back up the hill. Now coming up here, gonna get it to the top, and there's a couple lines going left, straight, and right, and there was no arrow where to go, but you just had to look down the course and see where the ribbon line was. So another real easy place to get lost, but you know, be smart, take your time. I mean, I didn't take a lot of time, but take your time, make sure you find the right line. So I was thinking left there, straight, and then right, and then it's kind of just diagonal right here. You know, I looked down, saw the pink ribbon. So I did see there was a little stick standing, so someone might have blasted this stick and knocked off the arrow. But or it's just the course designers just playing head games with the racers here. That could be what it is. They're like, we're not gonna mark this turn. We're just gonna have a little fun with it. Which makes it's all good, folks. Oh, come in hot here. Man, someone made a huge old rut. Someone just dug that out. Here's the big hill climb of the day. That's probably the biggest one of the day right here, folks. Nice little tight line to get up here. Just stay on the gas. No problem whatsoever. Good job, girl. Trixie, man, she loves the hills. And I like hill climbing too. Donner Hard Enduro, they do a hill climb. You know, that's actual competition hill climb. And I watch a lot of them on YouTube, the hill climbs. I just think it's so hilarious. I mean, the hill climb guys, they have to be the craziest riders of all. Big drop off right there, folks. I'd like to go up that. See, that'd be a good uphill. Oh, got a souvenir. I'm one of the guys taking the ribbons off. See how it is? They put the ribbon right on the edge there, and then you clip the bush, and then you're stealing the ribbon, you know. Trying to sabotage the riders behind me, you know. They won't know where to go now. But the hill climbers, God, they got to be the craziest riders of all time, because it's all or nothing. It is full gas until you loop your bike out. I mean, that's all they do. It's a crash. Every time they ride is a crash or a fall. So, and it's a huge possibility that their bike is destroyed too, because some of those hills are so damn steep. You see their bikes just tumbling down, doing cartwheels down, and you know, parts are flying off of it. So yeah, I'd like to do one. I need to maybe check that box of doing a hill climb event. I think it'd be a lot of fun just to give it a go. These guys are crazy. All right, we got to cross over back to the north side here, back to kind of where Wagon Wheel is. And here I just kind of slowed down a bit. I kind of lost some ground. I was just pretty beat, and it's real bumpy through here, real choppy. So I got off it. I'm waiting for a second or third. What is this? My third wind? I'm waiting for my third wind now to kick in before I get after it. And I'm like, all right, just take a little breather here. Catch your breath. Legs are screaming at me, and then we're gonna get on over to the north side here. Got a little rocky climb through this little hilltop here. Just picking a good line, keep standing on the pegs, letting that bike kind of bounce around. Going fast, you know, you're getting sloppy now because you're tired, so you're just riding a little looser, a little more sloppy than you normally would. And being able to let that bike bounce around a little bit and keeps you from being kicked out. You know, it helps with your balance. All right, coming up to a checkpoint, we got to get across these railroad tracks. Look at these railroad track, folks. What does a train do? Because the dirt and the rocks is over the track. The trains are active, like trains go through there every day, and I don't know, how does a train not derail? I mean, the track is buried in the sand. Does the train have like a little brush? Get out there, look at another Autobahn section, just full throttle, let's go. But how's the train stay on? You know, I'm thinking, does it have like a little brush or sweeping the track so it doesn't get those rocks, you know? I just like, there's several spots too you across the tracks, and the desert sand and rocks is burying the track. I'm like, there's gonna be an accident here, it's dangerous. No big old whoops.
Oh my God, these are monsters.
Those are monsters. Telling you folks, when you're dead and those whoops are just as big as they are, it just, oh my God, it just hurts so bad. All right, we're getting close to the end, y'all. Couple more riders to go. Couple more turns left and rights, and we'll be done with this race right here. I should have made a pass. I need to get on the gas right here. There, I had a guy ahead of me, and make the pass, Georgie. What are you waiting for? Get up on this nice open ground. Just get on that throttle, get up next to him, and then just blow past him. Couple little dips right there, but yeah, I get in his pace. There's that outside could have went to the right there. There was a lane to the right. Could have just got on the throttle right there. I would have made the pass. But I'm getting stuck, so now I got a guy coming up behind me. So I got Ryan coming in hard on the left, gets right around me. Ah, should have got him. See, good job, Ryan. I held him off during the hills there, but he got on this flat, open desert, and he's able just to hammer down, and doesn't hesitate like I do, and he just goes right for the pass. Doesn't even think about it. All right, Georgie, come on, get around him. Get it. All right, good job. Finally. See, if I would have got around him in the beginning, I think I could have held off Ryan a little bit more. But I didn't. I paid the price. Got a nice little crossing there. They got a lot of guards keeping the course clear for us. A little rough section through here. Yeah, it's rough. Yeah, I don't want to get past again, so I'm really kind of hammering down, putting down the throttle. I'm like, all right, no more passing. The end's almost right here. Just gut it out, George. You got probably another half mile to go, and then you get the checker flag. So don't lose it. Come on, Georgie, keep it up. And I was riding so fast today. I'm so proud of myself. It's one of my best rides ever, folks, as far as Hare and Hounds goes. I was really able to get after it today, and the bike is feeling good. I did blow that one shock, my right shock, but Trixie performed really well, and I had a little bit of bike maintenance the night before. I switched out the tire. I had to change my chain guide, was all busted up, and luckily I always, when something breaks on the bike, I always buy another part for that, so I always have a backup, and the bike did good. So end's coming up, folks. If you watch right at the end, there's going to be the person with the caution flag to slow down, and I get past right as that is going on. I'm like, all right, we got the last left-hand turn right here. I'm home free. All right, just hold it off, and I kind of ease up a little bit, and that's honestly my mistake. You got to be hard all the way to the end, and I didn't know how fast as Caleb. He's right behind me, and he's coming in hot, and he's going for it. I learned my lesson. Thanks, Caleb, teaching me a lesson here today of you got to race until the finish line and not ease up like I did. But anyways, hope you all enjoyed this one. It was a great race, fun ride, and I did pretty good. I hope you guys did too. And until next video comes out, get out and ride and get some.